What's happening, guys? My name is Anthony Darst, aka Anthony D. I'm here to talk about some of the changes that have happened with Uber. I got so many haters watching some of my old videos telling me that I'm lying. So let me just take the time to clarify some of the changes that have happened that may be affecting some of you drivers out there that might be making you think that Anthony D lies. Well, that's not the case. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I started driving in November of 2014. Now back then in Minnesota it was $1.70 a mile, 30 cents a minute. Well, since then they've obviously dropped the fares a few different times, and now in Minnesota it is $1 per mile, 15 cents per minute. So let me just say right off the bat that if you're watching my Uber after 1,000 rides video, my fares have dropped by almost half. So that alone may be reason enough for you to be confused about the numbers from my old video. So I wasn't lying because they were legit when I made the video. Get it? But since then they've also made some other changes. They've made good changes with their app. I mean, they've done a bunch of different stuff that allows you to see the surge areas. I mean, they did a lot of things to help you out. You can see your earnings, you can see some of your reviews. None of that was available when I started driving. So for those of you that know me know that I drive a 2008 Chevy Trailblazer, and that only gets 15 miles to the gallon. So when I started, it made a whole bunch of sense for me because I was making some money. I was making some good money. I could go out and I could literally make $1,000 a week in 40 to 50 hours. Now, for those of you that want to sit and call me a liar or whatever, or sit and look at my expenses, we've done that. Check out some of my other videos. But there is money to be made. You still have to be smart about it. You still have to know how the app works. But lucky for you guys, Uber's made a ton of different changes to their app alone that makes it way easier for you to see things. So, like the surge area, for example. In Minnesota, we used to have a very small window that we were allowed to drive in. Well, let me rephrase. We had a approved area, and surge never went beyond that. But now, as of this year, Uber has expanded their territory. So now, even in, say, Burnsville, which is 25 miles south of the city itself, we can get surge out here now. So by Uber changing that, it's kind of nice because it's based off of driver availability and whatnot, but I am able to catch surge pricing out in the suburbs of the city, which makes it super nice because now I don't have to go fight and deal with all the other drivers. Now, another note, back in 2000, end of 2014, early 2015, I was one of 300 drivers in Minnesota. So for you guys to sit here and call me out and say that I'm full of shit and all this stuff, that's wrong. I'm not full of shit. The competition is quite a bit different now. Let me say that there's 5,000 to 6,000 drivers in Minnesota, whereas there used to be 300. So, again, taking a look at the numbers, I could definitely go ahead and show you guys how it used to work and how it works now. But go ahead and take my word for it. I don't drive as much anymore. I'm running a couple different businesses. Things are getting busy for me, but I do still drive. I do still use my Chevy Trailblazer, and if I'm smart enough, I can still make a little bit of money. So, for all the haters out there, Anthony D would like to say, what's up? Keep doing you. Just start doing your research. Ugh. But guys, check out some of my other videos. All the old videos are still very, very, very relevant because the things that I touch base on are very basic topics that teach you how to make the most money driving for Uber. So, like I said, guys, it's always a pleasure. I really appreciate it. Just make sure you're on top of your stuff. If you are not driving for Uber yet, definitely make sure you do your research because there's a lot of things that people don't understand. Expenses is one thing that you definitely want to look into. You want to look at the taxes, you want to look at your deductions and figure out exactly how much you're going to be able to write off or expense. So definitely take a look at your gas mileage. Take a look at your area, check out the demand. Make sure that you are in touch with your insurance company and making sure that you are covered in a way that's going to be acceptable by Uber and your insurance company. Because, for example, let me just give you a quick rundown on what fired up the big insurance cause. Uber driver plows over a little 6-year-old girl. tragic. I understand that, and I'm not making fun of it at all. But what had happened was Uber didn't want to cover it because the driver didn't have a passenger in the car. So the driver was using the Uber app on his way to go pick up a passenger, but because there was no passenger in the car, Uber said that they're not liable and they don't need to pay for it. And his insurance company says, oh, sorry, you were using the Uber app, therefore we don't have to pay for it. So this guy's just in deep doo-doo. I highly recommend you make sure that you are able to drive for Uber and make sure your gaps are covered in between, because you want to make sure that you're covered. You want to make sure that if there is an incident that the other people are covered. Make sure that everybody's on the same page. If you're going to drive for Uber, another thing I'd like to say is, guys, just make sure you're safe. Make sure you're a good driver. Make sure you know the area. That's going to affect your money more than anything. Is if you don't know your way around, you're going to have pissed off passengers. You're going to have people not wanting to go throw you a tip. That's another thing. Let's talk about tips. I mean, I've made a boatload of money in tips. You know why? Because I'm Anthony D. Because these people like riding with Anthony D. You want to ride with Anthony D? Woo! And we have a blast. Check it out. If you guys want to sign up for Uber, my code is 1TRPQ. I appreciate you using it. A lot of times, depending on what city you're in, there's a kickback for you and there's a kickback for me as the referrer. So, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Please, 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 if you want to call me a hater or call me a liar, just make sure you got the tools or the information to back it up. Because if you're just watching one video that I did 1.5 years ago and hating on it because you're just a hater or because you're misinformed, that's your problem, not mine. I can deal with the haters all day. But I just wanted to clarify some stuff up because it's real quick to jump to conclusions. They're like, oh, this dude's got a piercing in his face. What an asshole. Guess what? I am an asshole. Woo!